What up, ladies and germs? It's your boy Audiomatron here, your boy Marcus. For the second time, my name isn't Audiomatron, but my name is Audiomatron. I'm getting off the subject. Today, I want to talk about my new snare drum that I got last week. This is a Ludwig Acrolite. These used to be student snare drums back in like the 70s, 80s, 90s. Matter of fact, in the 90s, I had one in my possession, one of these exact drums. It belonged to my cousin, and I did use it at school. Then I went on to use it on my drum set before I had to give it back to him because he sold it to somebody. Recently, I had a chance encounter with some session musician NPC when I was shopping for drum heads at Music and Arts, and he told me about the Acrolite. I was like, oh yeah, I used to have one of those. And he told me that they were very highly sought after by sound engineers, like studio musicians and stuff, because they apparently have a very recordable sound, very like fat crack, I guess, fat crack. So I went and started researching these drums and found that they really are highly sought after. So I started looking for them online. Brand new ones, 500 bucks. You got people on Facebook Marketplace trying to sell vintage ones for $500. People want $300 for them. I actually saw on Guitar Center's used that they had a number of them for about $250. I didn't really pull the trigger because I had some other stuff that I wanted to get. But last weekend, when I went down to the Dropout Kings concert, which I'm still paying for, my knee won't bend all the way. I jumped up and down so many times. That show was lit, by the way. If you guys get a chance to see Dropout Kings, it was badass. And Joe Lana, the cowboy drummer, is a bad motherfucker on the drums. And I got to talk to him and meet him, so that was cool too. Super nice dude. Anyway, back to the drum. My son John was with me. He wanted to go to Guitar Center before we went to the show. So John and I went to Guitar Center in Pensacola. And while I was making my vlog video of the weekend down there, I started looking around the drum section. And in the drum section was this drum. I'm like, ooh, an Acrolite. It was like $250. Well, I had my hands on it. I couldn't let it go. So I bought it. Came home, I didn't touch it for a couple of days, and then I tried to make a video the other day of me refurbing the drum because it was a little dirty. It needed some TLC. But that video ended up being like damn near an hour long, and you guys aren't gonna watch an hour video, and I don't wanna subject you to that. It was just a rambling video of me cleaning this drum. So I'll just run you through what I did. It had what looked to be the original head on the bottom, which is impressive because I think this, I'll show you the case in a minute, but the case that it came with puts it to be probably like mid-70s to mid-80s model. Okay, so what I meant to say there was the serial number on the badge plus the case made me think late 70s, early 80s. Actually, upon further investigation, I don't think that's the original case that would have come with that drum, but the rounded corner blue and olive badge plus the serial number that starts with a 3 puts it like mid-70s to early 80s, as far as I've been able to find through researching it. So it's old. It may be as old as me or older. And then it had this head on the top where it said like, somebody had like scribbled all over it with magic marker and wrote like Frosty, Merry Christmas. And it just leaves me to wonder like, in what context was this drum used before it got sold or traded into Guitar Center? Anyhow, I removed the heads. I put a hazy Remo Ambassador snare side on the snare. I put a coated Ambassador on the top because that is the correct head for this type of drum. And while I had it apart, I used this spray called Music Nomad to clean the shell. And I cleaned the lugs with it. Usually I would want to clean the lugs with mothers, but I didn't feel like taking them off. They looked a little maybe more complicated to take off than some of the other drums I've worked on, like those Ludwig toms. So they shine up real good with the Music Nomad. I hit the rims with Music Nomad, but they didn't quite get how I wanted them to. They actually had some pitting, like a little bit of rust and stuff on them. So the Music Nomad cleaned them off good. So I took them inside and I wet the rims and I crumpled up aluminum foil and just ran it around the rim and got all the little bits of rust off. And then I took Groove Juice, which is cymbal and hardware cleaner, sprayed that on, rubbed it in, and then rinsed it off and then dried it off with a towel. Brought back in here, put it all together, and man, I must say, this thing sounds like a fucking beast. I've been playing it all week, or since Tuesday. Here in a while, it's a little early right now, but here in a while, I'm gonna set it up on the drum kit. It won't be a while for you, it'll be like in a few seconds. I'm gonna set it up on the drum kit, let you guys see how it sounds, or rather hear how, you can't see how something sounds. I'll let you hear how it sounds. I'll record it with my usual recording setup that I use on all the drum videos. Real quick, let me show you what it came with. It came with a Dixon snare drum stand. I threw that in my hardware bag to get it out of the way. But it came with a case. And what I'm thinking is, but see, this is different than the case that mine back in the 90s had. Mine had that like big, nice, hard plastic case. I've seen one of those on Marketplace locally. I might buy it to go with the drum. This one isn't bad. It came with one of those vacuum pad, drum pad things, but it was all crumbly and brittle. It tells you how old it was. Oh, looks like the feet have kind of like popped in on this thing. I may not want to use this. I'm not sure, but I thought about like lining this down here and the side of this with padding and still using this, but I don't know. I may just put it in one of my regular snare drum bags when I gig with it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take it today over to Chris's house, one of my bandmates from the new cover band that still doesn't have a name, although I think we might have landed on Soundtrek because they came over here and saw all my D&D shit and my Star Trek patches on my patch board over there, and we bonded over nerd stuff. So apparently I happened upon yet more like-minded weird-ass bandmates. So I think we're gonna get along rather well. Anyways, let's hear the drum. Yeah, so that was the drum. Pretty badass, right? Now, how does it compare to, I don't know if you can see it, I got my DW solid wood drum there, which is still the best sounding snare drum I've ever heard, but it ought to be because I paid a lot for it used, and if you were to buy one new, they're quite expensive. But this one, honestly, is the first of all the other snare drums I've played that I'll say is like a match for it. I don't think it's as expressive in some ways, but then in other ways it is more expressive. Like you can really like hear the ghost notes. Like ghost notes come through really well on this. And the cool thing about this drum too is where is it? There's a knob here. There's a dampener on the inside, so you can twist this to like dampen it more or less or not at all. And that's really cool. So I don't have to put a moon gel, which also will lend itself well to like putting on and off my big fat snare drum with the cover band. So anyways, ladies and germs, one, if you would watch a 45-minute to an hour-long video of me rambling and taking apart a snare drum, let me know if that's the kind of content you want to see. I'll fucking make it. If you have an Acrolite or have had one, let me know what you think of it. Is there a better snare drum out there for these purposes? I want to know what you think. Just make sure to like this video and comment. And I'll be back with some more content on this drum because I'm probably going to replace the throw off and the butt plate because I don't like these ones. I remember not liking these back in the 90s. These screws, you can never get them tight enough and they end up, I end up like manhandling with a screwdriver and stripping them. So anyways, but I've got it good for now, but the whole snare assembly is going to get replaced. I'm going to get some new wires and new throw off and stuff. I just got to wait. I got to stop making purchases. The gear videos have got to stop because they're going to break me. Anyways, ladies and germs, see ya.